Jose Mourinho is back home in Portugal. He will now lead Benfica. But his big return isn't the only talking point. What's making headlines is his exit from Turkey and his comments after his unceremonious exit. Because Mourinho hasn't just walked away from the Super League, he's called the league not his level, essentially branding Turkish football as below par, below standard. That's a drastic U-turn, especially from the man who, when he first arrived, promised to change Turkish football forever. Is the special one now making excuses to stay relevant for his next job? When Mourinho arrived in Turkey, it was celebrated like a national festival. It wasn't just Fenerbahce signing a coach, it was Turkish football signing up global relevance. Because this is a man who has won everything: the Champions League, the Europa League, the Conference League. Mourinho is the only coach to have lifted all three UEFA competitions. And this wasn't a one-sided love affair either. Mourinho fed into the hype, promising glory, promising history.
It's a big responsibility that I feel, and I promise you that from this moment I belong to your family. This shirt is my skin. From the moment I signed my contract, your dreams are now my dreams.
Surely has a way with words, but it felt like destiny there. Mourinho, the man who made Porto Champions League winners, was ready to do the same in Turkey. At first, the signs were all there. The league suddenly became more entertaining. His presence brought the spotlight back on Turkish football. Fans across Europe and even Asia tuned in. Not for Fenerbahce, but for Mourinho. But slowly things started to sour. The theatrics turned into tantrums. His passion transformed into frustration. Mourinho began blasting referees. He accused rivals like Galatasaray of favoritism. He was even accused of racism after a heated press conference earlier this year. Instead of elevating the league, Mourinho's stint became more about controversies. Now that's still okay. It is Mourinho after all. With him, there's always sugar and a healthy dose of spice. The biggest problem was the results. He was hired to dethrone Galatasaray, but never managed it. He failed to qualify for the Champions League, and when the results didn't match the hype, Mourinho switched on the blame game.
I made a mistake going to Fenerbahce. It wasn't my cultural level, it wasn't my football level, it wasn't my level. Coaching Benfica is returning to my level, and my level is coaching the biggest clubs in the world.
But let's pause right here. Yes, refereeing in Turkey is poor. Yes, club politics is messy. But does that really give Mourinho the right to dismiss an entire league as one beneath him? Because history tells a very different story. The man who called himself special became special by winning the Champions League with Porto, a club nobody gave a chance to back then. A team built on local talent, discipline, and tactical brilliance. If anything, Turkey was the perfect opportunity for him to replicate that fairy tale. But instead of building a Porto 2.0, he collapsed under the pressure of it all. And what about this cultural excuse? Let's be real. Every league has a different culture, has a different setup. England is not Spain, Italy is not Portugal. Yet Mourinho thrived when he was winning. Culture wasn't an issue when he was beating Pep Guardiola back at Inter. Culture wasn't a problem when he made Chelsea serial winners. Culture wasn't a barrier when he charmed Madrid into giving him the job. So why now? Maybe the truth is Mourinho isn't evolving anymore because results are no longer backing his brand. And here's the irony: Mourinho says his level is coaching the world's biggest clubs. But in reality, those clubs aren't calling him anymore. Manchester United sacked him. Tottenham sacked him. Fenerbahce. So instead of reinventing himself, he's pointing fingers instead. Yes, he's a legend. He will always be remembered as the man who broke dynasties, who turned underdogs into champions. But today he looks less like the special one and more like the one giving excuses, because football has transformed. It's changed. While Mourinho is busy fighting yesterday's battles, if he truly believes Benfica is his level, then this is the opportunity to prove he still belongs at the top of the table. But if he fails here as well, then maybe it's time for Jose Mourinho to accept the sad truth that the game has moved on. And the special one, he probably isn't so special anymore.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.